Hey y'all, welcome to episode 19 of the Prolific Shift Sunday Sit Down. I'm the founder and CEO, Janae Peters, and I'm going to get right to this week's question because I want y'all to hear this one, and I want you to be watching right now, and I want you to engage this one. It's one that's important to me, and not because it's particularly serious or sobering, but because I think it is a game changer in shifting how we engage our actions and behaviors and also our mindsets. So let's get right to it. So this week's question is, what has been your most fulfilling expression of audacity? And I want to note that in that question structure is an assumption that there is some way that you have been audacious, some way. And it's urging you to think about that way, not to think about where you haven't been audacious yet, but where have you? And what's been the most fulfilling expression of audacity for you? So when I think about this, audacity means the world to me. And part of it is, I think that for so many groups who experience any version of oppression or marginalization or anything like that, this world can make it very easy for us to just play it safe, do what we need to do, keep our heads down, don't make any trouble. And audacity it can be for you about making trouble, good trouble, whatever that trouble is. But I think it's also about the ways in which we engage ourselves. Like, what do I have the audacity to do in terms of taking care of myself? And I don't mean like in a self-care way, but like centering myself, centering people who look like me and who are from where I'm from and who have experienced the same types of things that I have experienced. And when I think about audacity in that way, it gets pretty real for me. I remember, I think last year, maybe almost a year ago, I ended up in an affinity group breakout space with some Black social workers. And one of my mentors was in this space as well, Kay Williams. And Kay asked us the question for a check-in, just in what ways have you been audacious this week? And my memory of this moment, and, I got some memory problems, so my memory of this moment, which I'm going to hold and offer here, is that it was very hard for almost any of us in that space to name a way in which we had engaged audacity. And I remember when I really thought about that, and I think it was named in that space, when I really thought about that, I thought about how difficult that is, or how difficult this world is, or how the structures and systems that we live, work, love, teach, mentor in each day can make it really difficult for us to think creatively, to be generative about different possibilities, like both for us and for our situations. And so audacity has become something that I have started to center. I think the most fulfilling expression of audacity that I had, I've talked about this a number of times, but it was when I first started teaching myself to play bass. And it's not because I was playing bass. It's not because I had never played an instrument before. It's not even because of the time I took per se. The expression of audacity in that for me is that I was in a work situation where I could have just sacrificed. I could have just said, must give all, must work twice as hard, must do all this because this is what's going to help this community be better. And it's not true. It wasn't going to help that community be better. And it wasn't going to help that community honor me. And I don't mean honor as in praise or adore, but honor my needs, my role, the things that I have done. It wasn't going to do that. But choosing to do something that cultivated for me a reminder that I am a learner and achiever. And that when I'm at my best, it's because I'm learning and achieving. And when and if I feel stunted, learning and achievement doesn't happen. And I don't mean achievement like, well, sometimes it has been being awarded for something or anything like that, but achievement as in setting a goal, working towards that goal, and then completing it, whether that's a learning goal, whether that's a behavior goal, whatever it is. And I think my biggest expression, my most fulfilling expression of audacity was that because it was probably the first time in my work world that I chose me. I chose to cultivate something in me instead of trying to sacrifice for everything and everyone around me. And that mattered to me. So, as you think about your world and the ways in which you have been fulfilled or had a fulfilling experience when expressing audacity, reflect on some of the areas in your world that might benefit from some more audacity. I mean, I think about all the things that I think we think creatively about audacity, but we don't act on it, right? So, I think we could get real creative and generative about, like, especially I can speak for myself when I'm angry. I'm like, ooh, I could just boom, boom, boom. I could just bang, bang, bang. And, but we don't act on that usually. But what are those areas where something like that comes up for you, and where you might benefit from some audacity? And so this week's action item is to choose 2 days this week to practice or indulge in audacity and see how that feels, right? And audacity is, I think, can be purposeful, intentional. It could also be habitual. It can be a habit. And I think that's the thing. If I could pass on anything to others that I want you to hold, right? It would be to be cultivating a practice and a habit of audacity, whatever that means and looks like for you. All right. So let's get it. Like, it's as simple as that. Let's get it this week. Let's be audacious. Let's practice audacity in this fine second week of November. And I am looking forward to really hearing from folks about what that means and looks like for you. And let's check in again soon. All right. See y'all next week for episode 20. Take care. Peace. If you liked anything you heard, please don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe, or support in any of these ways, and especially through your love and care. Peace, and I'll see y'all again soon.